called A Horrible Day, One Piece chapter 1152, but no day is a horrible day when you are a One Piece fan, right? I thought I was gonna wait until my live stream to talk about this chapter, but I gotta get into it. I was screaming in my car on the way to work. I was screaming in my car on the way back. I didn't even change out of my work clothes because the fit was cute. So we are gonna record this in this right now. Let's talk about it. We have come back from the break with a banger. We got new character powers. We got a double flashbackception, and potentially a new crewmate. Are you kidding me? A new crewmate? Are you kidding? You've already read the chapter. I am sure you already have. If you have not, go read it and come back. I do not take responsibility for you getting spoiled. I'm only going to hit on the key points and then some things I noticed. We're going to end with some questions, observations, and things to keep in mind as we continue to read the greatest story of all time. First, we're starting off. The Holy Knights can be defeated with Supreme King Haki. Gaban said they're not invincible. And so that means that the only people who can defeat them are Loki, Luffy, and my boyfriend Zoro, who didn't even know that he had it. Luffy knew that he had it. If Luffy knew that he had it, that means he's really dense, but we already knew that. Poor Sanji wanted it so bad, but hopefully Oda will throw some special Jerma power-ups his way this chapter. I don't know. The next thing, Luffy asked Loki to join his crew. Are you kidding me? A new crew? I looked at all of the other times that Luffy has asked people to join his crew. It's been different every single time, but I will say on multiple occasions they have outright denied him. He asked Kureha to join the crew. He asked Crocus. He asked Zeph. And those three older people were like, boy, stop playing. But this one seemed pretty legit. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it has a level 9 of legitimacy. It had a Don that went with it. They talked about it for a page and a half. Loki outright denied it. And then Hyrudine was like, you can't have him, he's an enemy. Luffy seemed disappointed, but I mean, when Luffy means it, he doesn't take no for an answer. Luffy, he presented it as a means to an end, hey, if I take responsibility for you, if you join my crew, then they'll let you get out of the chains and you can fight. And then Gaban ended up saying, let him go. But I don't know. I feel like maybe once Luffy fights, he'll be more adamant about it. It definitely seems like something that's going to be revisited later. I'm excited about that. Could be a Robin, I have nowhere else to go type of situation, but I feel like Oda won't do the same thing twice with that. I think that it would be so dope to see Loki as more than an honorary crew member. I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know if he would just walk alongside the Sunny or swim alongside it, or I don't know. That's for Oda to figure out. But I would be thrilled because he seems like such an interesting character so far. He's funny. He's aggressive. That's my favorite type of character. I also think that would fill out the 10 that Luffy said, I just need 10 men. There's been debate about that in the community. Did he mean 10 including himself? Did he mean 10 as a starting point? We don't know. He has 9 right now. I'm not flabbergasted that even happened. I'm thrilled that happened. I'm freaking out, bro. I don't freak out often. This is me freaking out. Next point, Gaban trusts and believes in Loki. He believes in him enough to protect Elbaph at this moment. Why he has not vouched for him up until this point, I don't know. Has he visited him? They seem to have some mutual understanding between them about that day that happened that we're getting a flashback for. That's going to be interesting to see how that came about. The next thing is we get into the flashback a little bit more. We kind of see Loki moving around in Elbaph in his own space. You see him talking to Jarl. Jarl is apathetic when it comes to politics, and that's probably why he has not stepped up to lead the kingdom after Harald has passed away. Loki is you're exactly the problem, old man. All these kids are special snowflakes. They're going to grow up to be too peaceful, which is exactly what they did, even though now they're fighting in their own way that they know how. Which is sad. It's also kind of if you're so vocal about it, I know I could say, why don't you do anything? But he was chained up to a tree, so There's that. Kind of seeing Loki move around his space, you can see that he was sort of like feared and disrespected by the guards, the palace guards. Loki was not too pleased with it, but it's not like he did anything about it. You can also see that Loki cares for his father and Elbaph in some capacity, even though he was talking about how Harald was siding with the world government. He still like tells the guards like, "What are you doing? My dad called me here. This is my home." He bursts down the door. He's like, "Hey, Pop." He's obviously comfortable. He's not like super respectful or distant. He's not like, "Hello, father. I have returned from my long journey across the sea." That I'm so sorry. No, that actually wasn't bad. Maybe it was. Maybe it was awful. He's very comfortable at home. He is at home. It's not like he doesn't want to return there. It's not like he doesn't feel like he has a place to call his own. He is home. So, okay, he bursts down the door. He says, "Hey, Pop, I'm back." And he sees that Harald is in the middle of the throne room getting Dory and Bragi turned into a demon. The fact that Harald died in that battle does not sound optimistic for Dory and Bragi's condition. I hope death is not the only solution to being transformed like that. Gunko Imu said that it would like take off their lifespan, I think, and fill them with rage and like loose them of common sense, the burdens of common sense, essentially. Yeah, it seemed like that happened to him, and then Loki had to fight until he died, until he killed him, cured him, and that's what we're seeing so far. That's what we're assuming. We don't know the full story. We're about to. And then in the flashback, we learn that Shanks went to Marie-Joie, where he met Harald for the first time, possibly on the tail end of a family reunion. A family reunion. We don't know. A family reunion. Within that flashback, we go even further into a flashback about Harald and the giant pirates and all of that. How they were feared among the seas. They were the most feared. Harald wasn't even a pirate. He was just a traveling ne'er-do-well. He just went up and like kicked somebody's castle in because he thought it would be funny, because he's technically a 15-year-old, even though he's 45 years old. That brings us into the question / observation / things to remember section of this video. Okay, my first question is, how did Harald ascend to the throne at such a young age? If he is technically 15 years old as a giant, how did that happen? Did they take a vote and they vote on him? Was it a contest of strength or something like that? Was it a succession line? Because right now he does have princes and heirs, I think. Are they heirs or are they just princes? I don't know. He had his horns initially, but either the world government or Mother Carmel changed his mind about that, pulled them out because he was disgusted with his origin as an ancient giant. He seemed pretty happy with him when he was kicking that castle in, though. I don't know. Loki has his eyes covered with bandages. I was wondering, like, is this a character design like Zoro, or is it a character design like Fujitora and Senor Pink or something like that? Is there like some tragic situation as to why his eyes are bandaged? The next point, this is day 57 of me asking for Usopp to step up and become relevant in this arc, because this is his happiest place on earth. This is his Disney World right now, and it is crumbling before his eyes. His idols have been turned into demons in front of him. I want to see some rage. I want to see more passion, more energy. I want to see some resentment. I want to see some fire, Usopp, please. But I know we're about to get into a flashback, so I'm gonna let you chill for these next few chapters. But when we come back, boy, I'm gonna need you to get frustrated. I'm gonna need God Usopp to step in. You got Usopp. God Usopp was essentially just Usopp, honestly. I don't know. I want him to be mad so bad. I want him to be frustrated at the Gods Nights. I want him to be mad that Loki's joining the crew, maybe. Are you kidding me? A new crewmate? I want him to take that frustration and rage and be provoked to a point where he levels up or something like that. He gones out. I don't know. I don't know what he could do. I want to see him do something, though. I want to see him do something drastic, and I don't want him to die. That is off the table. Hopefully, we can see something from him after that. Next point, Zoro is going to have to learn how to control his Haki, or maybe not, because Gaban said that he's at ease with it, but he's been informed of a new skill, so we're going to see some more from him. At least that's been assured. Not for Usopp, but that's been assured for Zoro, so that'll be fun. And then last point is that I want to remind you that Loki is the same person that fell in love with Lola. Just making sure you don't forget it. He fell in love with her at first sight. He gave her a little flower on the beach. He's a soft person. He has emotions and feelings, and he's like all warm and cuddly inside. And that's chilling in the back of my mind until we hear more about that in this arc. If Nami doesn't point that out, Nami has failed me. She's going to bring it up. She's got to bring it up. She knows Lola and her sister. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. What are your thoughts? Do you think the invitation is legitimate? It looks darn legitimate. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a crew member. Are you kidding me? Never has Luffy been serious about asking someone to join the crew that they have not joined the crew. It looks so real. It looks so real. And I think it's going to happen. So, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. If you're wondering where I've been, I guess you wondered where I've been. I have been live streaming on Sundays. You can go back and check. I have my live streams available on my channel where I have talked about the recent chapters leading up to this one. You can go check them out and hear what my thoughts have been. I've just been busy. As you can see, I'm in work clothes. And it's been much more maintainable, much more manageable to live stream on Sundays, and essentially record and post a video at the same time. So yeah, if you are interested in seeing that, I hope you can tune in. But until then, I have been Meanie Mosey, and I hope you have an amazing, incredible, awesome, wonderful day. Bye.